Hi guys, Sarah the Northwoods Stitcher here. This is like a stash video. So I have a pile of stuff I got from a freebie table at one of my stitch meets. I think most of these things came from my friend Cindy. I'm so glad that she cleaned up and wanted to donate some of this stuff to us. So I wanted to go through the pile with you, and then I have a birthday box that I got, and I have a dump find and some Happy Mail. But look at this little cutie that was on the free table. Isn't that sweet? And it came with a floss. So I'm really excited to do this. I'm not really sure if I'm going to do it as a berry or not, because I'm not so keen on berries. You can't see them without turning them around. But I think this would be really cute if displayed properly. So I'm definitely looking forward to whipping this out and finding the right fabric so that white will really pop on the eagle. Really cute design. And let's see what else is in this pile. There's this. Now, this I've never tried before. This, what do they call that stitch? Hardanger, that's the word I'm looking for. So this is all about doing a hardanger piece. And it's got beads in it. Now I can do this for a little basket. I can do it to wrap around a candle base. There's a lot of different things I can do. It's got some threads in it. So I'm really excited to do something with this, because it looked to me like a relatively small pattern that wasn't going to be too intimidating. So wish me luck. Someday when I'm feeling brave, I'm going to tackle this. That was on the free table. There's even little beads in this packet too. Woohoo! Now, I did grab some magazines. I don't know if this is a duplicate. This is from July, August 1995. In each of these magazines that I grabbed, there was a design in here that really caught my eye, so that's why I grabbed them. Let me see if I can find the one. Look at that. Can you guys see that? There we go. That's awfully cute. I really liked that. I thought that was really pretty. It does have two stocking designs in it. I think I might have grabbed this one for the placemat designs. Yep, must have been the placemat designs. So I'll see if this is a duplicate, because there are two different stocking patterns in here. It's just incredibly full. It's really great detailed charts. So that was Better Homes and Gardens, Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, July, August 95. This is a close-up of the other one. Kind of hard to see, sorry. Now in this one, I've not heard of this before. This is Better Homes and Garden Treasures and Needlework. This is from spring of '93. And there was definitely something in this one. And I think it was a sampler. Look at that. It's a very, very thick magazine. Look at those. It's incredible on that dark blue. Actually, that's needlepoint. Yes, this is the one. Look at that. I just love this. And it's got some fancy stitches in it. But I just thought this was gorgeous. I had to have this issue for this chart. I don't know. This is a schoolgirl sampler. That is a massive chart in here. But look at that one. I think this is in here. That might just be the article. It's just the article by the looks of it. So there's great reading material in here. So if that sampler was something that you liked, you can look for this on a second-hand market. Better Homes and Gardens, Treasures in Needlework, spring of '93. Chock-a-block full. A lot of articles in here too about the history of samplers. Then I got another one, Better Homes and Garden Treasures from fall of '92. So I know there was a sampler in this one too. Look at these storybook animals. It was this one. So this was the other sampler that I was attracted to. Well, sorry for that glare, guys. Can't quite get rid of that. But I fell in love with this chart too. And this is a Dutch sampler. So I had to grab this one. There are a couple of smaller designs in here, but primarily that's what this issue is all about, that giant sampler. So that was Better Homes and Garden Treasures in Needlework, fall of 1992. Beautiful magazine. I don't recall seeing this on the newsstands. I don't recall being offered a subscription to this, which is really sad. I got some fun Happy Mail. This came from my friend Jane in Arizona. Isn't that sweet? A little Mary Engelbreit box. And when I opened it up, it's got a cute little note in there. A really cool wood ornament. And then this. Isn't that fabulous? I was just so touched. I can't believe she did this for me. I love it. I think I have some of these frames. This looks to me to be a wood frame that she painted with that glitter paint. It's just perfect. Don't know the name of the design, but she found a little thing to fit in here, and I'm just thrilled with it. And I'm so glad to have it to put it out and show it off. Thanks, Jane. Now I can permanently unbox this. Bought myself some Happy Mail. I know some of you are not happy about Tamu shopping, but sometimes I'll buy random items to see if they're worth buying again. I was really pleased with this one. This is double-sided. And this is just a scissor keep. I haven't even tested the scissors to see what I think of them. And I might even keep it as something for a gift. But I love this. Little neodymium magnets to keep it closed. I can toss it into my sewing bag and not worry about them getting lost. It's a good size. And then this cute little guy. Only one-sided, which is something for me to consider. And he's a needle keep. Isn't that sweet? Great place for me to keep my needles away from you-know-who. And I just love foxes. What a sweet little face. And then I got, of course, another pair of scissors. And they're very, very sharp. Now, whenever I do get something like this from anywhere, I clean the blades with just a dry paper towel because they're oily. I always do that before you use any scissors that you buy. And now I can find a little silicone bead to go on the end of these if I want to travel with them. I just love the design on them. Now I got a birthday box. So this was all from 123 Stitch. My friend Steve did some shopping. Quite a bit of shopping. I have some random threads here, so I think these probably go to some of the charts that he ordered for me, which is extremely handy. I also got a new package of 26 count needles. I don't remember these being on my wish list, but maybe they were. I tend to go for Luganas rather than linen, but this is a linen. So this is a 32 count white Belfast. And it's actually softer than I thought it would be. To me, linen is just a little too abrasive. That's why I prefer Lugana or Monaco. But this one's actually soft, as is this one. And maybe they treat them, I don't know. So this is dirty linen, 32 count, Belfast linen. And then we've got, let's see, was that white? This was just white. This is antique white. It's just a shade darker than the white. And this is 32 count as well. This does feel a little stiffer, but it'll be great to stitch on. So I think what I'll do is I'll pack them this way. So when I flip the package, I can get an idea of what's in there. Now the charts that he chose, I have a Birds of a Feather, Lost Spirits. And it looks like that dirty linen would be perfect for this. It's just really cute. Let's take a peek. They did this on a 32 count Sparrow linen. I'll just do a floss toss and see what it would look good on. Really want to make sure those purples and the oranges really pop off the fabric. And I got a Jardin Privé. Doesn't that look like fun? I might add some color to this one because I think this would be a lot of fun to add some pops of color here and there. This is Lady Halloween. I love that the alphabet's in there too. You see a theme? Halloween. This has been on my radar for a while. This is Season of the Witches. Definitely going to do this on either a purple or a type of overdyed orange. I think that would be great for the background. Now the dimensions on this, 54 by 151. So that'll be fun to do. And I have a cone of DMC floss, so I can just sit and not worry about the amount of black that I need. And I could do these little swirly things in a metallic. That might be fun to do. And then this has been on my radar for a long time. This is O Feathers, a Rosewood Manor design. I just love this. And I think when I do this, I will either continue this border to frame it out, or maybe extend it to frame it out, or I'll leave the border off completely with this omitted as well. I'll just put tiny little initials somewhere in the feathers to hide it. This one's going to be a lot of fun to do. Definitely going to do this on white. Oh, there are extra designs in the booklet. So that peacock, ooh, 207 by 168. Yikes. And this booklet is 10 pages. But it does look like fun, and it looks completely symmetrical, which I enjoy doing because I get into a rhythm. Now, I also have this was a big box from Rosemary, or Rosie. She's down in Florida. And this about blew my socks off. I know I'm opening this upside down, which is bad. Let me get the box out of the way. A sweet little note. But look at this. Two packages full of these darling little ornaments. I can't wait to do one of these. I think I'm going to have to not kit up. I'm going to have to get a container devoted just to some of these. So I have one place where they're all going to be kept. And I may change some colors on it. Like this, I could see as blue and white, or maybe even white and gold. I love the colors on this, love the colors on that. This is great. Those are great. But I think what's so wonderful about these brass pieces, you can follow the chart, but change the colors if that's a little too bright for your liking. These are put out by Busilla. And I wonder if there's a date on them. 2006. Yeah, 2006 on all of these. These are also a great size to just take up to camp. I think these are fabulous. Look at that stocking. 2006. Look at that cute little mitten. When you finish these little brass pieces, you could put a piece of felt on the back of the brass piece to hide your stitches from the back. Isn't that sweet? Contemporary pieces, but timeless nonetheless. Very excited to get these. She said this was an estate clean out. Boy, would I like to be shopping estates with her. What fun. Wait till you see this pile. Look at this. This baggie is devoted to the bookmark collection. I've never had these before. 3 different colors. They're pre-finished, I imagine. Oh, there's even a little chart on the back. Yeah, they're finished. Ends are finished. So just incredible. And, you know, it may be longer than you need it, so you can finish it off on the ends differently if you wanted to after you stitched it. But look at these designs. Look at that little house. I have some of these lacy ones. Mystery. Some guy in an overcoat by a lamppost. This is just a great collection. I have not seen this one before. Look at these little butterflies. And some of these little sampler or little tiny square stitches, they make great little pillows. There's also this one. This one looks familiar to me. I think I may have this one. As I am putting my charts in respective binders, if this is a duplicate, I will pass the stash on this one. Look at those. This is awfully familiar to me. Leisure Arts Leaflet, 2985, Bookmarks Galore, 66 designs. Good book with the bears and the tree. What year was this? 26 pages in this one. 1997. Looks awfully familiar. So I'll have to research that. Then she sent calendar. And these don't look familiar. I can't believe it. 1988. So that's January. I love this size. This is the size that fits nicely on the side of my refrigerator. Look at those bunnies. That's beautiful. If you don't want to do it for a mother, you would just take this line out and put this there and end it as you would the bottom normally. And it looks like a stencil. That's why I think I'm attracted to it. This is June. July. What a great idea. August. September. I love how that looks like a writing notebook paper. October. Ooh, look at the cats. November. And December. Some of these look familiar. I don't know if it's in a book that I have, but when I try to incorporate this to my calendar collection, if I already have this one, then this will be another pass the stash. This one's 1989. So we have January, February, March. Oh, an Irish blessing. An Irish prayer. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Two different ways of doing it. April. May. It's a cute wedding sampler. Boy, these used to be all the rage. Some were wood, some were plastic. June. July. August. Wow. September. October. That's adorable. November. Another one that looks like a stencil. And December. That was the Keepsake 1989 cross-stitch calendar. These would make cute little pillows too. Then there is a collection of now don't quote me on these. Zweigart promotional magazines are what I call these. So I'm pretty sure what they would do is they would release this before they would release some of the patterns, maybe. I mean, there are designs in here. I do know I have one. I think it's this one that I have. Because I remember seeing this, and I remember it was free. I don't know why, because it does have a price at the bottom. But I always wanted to do that pillow, and I haven't done it yet. So let me see if I can show you some of the insides. So what they do is they advertise, I guess, what's being released. Page 1 of 2. Then there's a pattern. Then there's another one. And then there's the pattern. Now it tells you, it says Zweigart table topper, 20 count. Here's the pillow that I want to do. Here's another. And maybe I'm absolutely wrong about this. Maybe this was something that you could get a subscription to. Look at that black work. But they are all Zweigart pieces. Look at these. I don't remember ever seeing those towels. It's a Madagascar kitchen towel, 14 count, 100% cotton product code. So I guess maybe this is also how people would order it for wholesale. Look at this butterfly table topper. It's adorable. There are a couple more in here, but great issues. And some are thicker than the others. Like, that was the holiday issue we just went through, and it's probably half the size of this November issue. So I have a few of them. Again, I know this one will come up as a Pass the Stash soon. And I'll go through these. I'm really excited to get them. Look at the specialty stitches in this one. I'd love to try this. This does look like it's done on a canvas. I imagine I could do it on any large hold Ada. The angels even have little belts. And I could add beads to that one. They did this on a Zweigart Congressa cloth, a 24 mesh. Rather than trying to find that, I would probably just find a cheap Ada cloth that I could play with. It has big enough holes. I absolutely love this is on the cover. So this is a table topper. Just gorgeous. I may have this cloth. I'm not sure. I'd have to go through my piles. Westerland table topper, 31 by 31, and it's got a code. I don't know if I have codes on any of mine. So I have November 2006, holiday issue 3. I don't have a year on this one. February 2007, September 2007. Isn't that gorgeous? Love that. This is a 2007 bonus issue. Maybe that's why these bonus holiday issues are thinner. It's just a little more. Look at that tail topper. January 2008. And this looks familiar too. I think I might have done this on a orange plastic canvas. So this might be a Pass the Stash as well. Beautiful things in here. So excited to open up the box and see these because I knew I had one or two, but look at the collection now. I can start a whole binder. So thanks so much, Rosemary. Now, I've got a couple of book reviews, but I also have a find from the dump that we should go through. So I went to the dump recently, of course I did. Found some DVDs, but I also found this. Now, needlepoint books, you can cross-stitch needlepoint charts just by making a few changes to them. I would like to try needlepoint. I've only done needlepoint twice, and I wasn't very enamored with it. It might have been because it was a kit. But this was actually gifted to somebody in '98. It first was printed in 1990. This is a Better Homes and Garden. Look at that. Just beautiful. Gorgeous designs in here. I was really happy to find this. I think this is probably now, I'm well over 120. I'd have to look at my list. That's just a top of a heart-shaped box. That's a really cool heart-shaped box though. Aren't those fun? Great pops of color. Can you imagine doing a whole rug? And poppies. I love all of these. I do have some canvas somewhere. I should just play with it. And I love this. This is done on paper. I don't know what we're going to do without perforated paper anymore. I'm trying to buy it wherever I see it. Aren't those amazing? So that's just perforated paper being used as a mat. That's so sweet. That's the end of that. So it was Better Homes and Gardens Floral Needlepoint. Hardcover. Great. Got another segment I'm going to attach to this as some more book reviews. So this Celtic needlepoint book, I'm not sure if this was always mine or if it was my father's. If it was my dad's, I lost him in 2020. He would have put his name or his address label in it. So I think this has always been mine. This is a hardcover by Alice Starmore. It's absolutely gorgeous. And both my father and I were attracted to Celtic cross-stitch and designs. Now he had this. This was supposed to be an eyeglass case. I didn't have any need for an eyeglass case. So what I did was I stitched it up, but I can't remember if this was the original fabric that came with the kit. Mounted this on a piece of mat board. That's actually what this yellow piece is as well. You can see how thick it is. I wrapped it around the mat board and then I glued it to an extra piece of mat board so I could, when the notebook is done, I can just rip off this mat board and put it on a new notebook. This is supposed to be my diary, but for whatever reason, I don't feel like putting anything in my diary this year. And I don't think I did much last year. Anywho, anyhow, you can see I like Celtic designs. So this book, gorgeous patterns in here. And I think, you know, there's a lot of different ways that you can use these designs and motifs. Now, let's see. Alice Starmore, Celtic needlepoint, but you can use needlepoint charts, of course, for cross stitch. This was first put out in 1994. And it gives so much information in this book. So it talks about the different eras of Celtic art. The Book of Kells. There's different chapters for different design motifs. So this is the key patterns. Look at that. What a great pillow. Now, this would also make a fantastic table runner. Here's an eyeglass case. Would also make a fantastic bookmark. Oh, isn't that pretty? I'd love that as a table runner. You can also just use a variegated floss color too for these. Spirals. Wow. Knotwork patterns. I think that's a great cushion. That, of course, would also make a fantastic table topper. Look at that, a belt. Amazing. Bird and tree patterns. Oh, that's cool. Oh, here we go. Bookmark. And that is a interlaced heron. So there's two herons in that design. That's gorgeous. Animal patterns. Another belt. Look at that. That's massive. And the last chapter is needlepoint techniques. And it talks about different canvases that you can use. Different working frames. Different stitches. It's just a really nicely done book. So that's Celtic Needlepoint, a hardcover book by Alice Starmore. Really nicely done. And I think, you guys, this is the last book, probably for quite some time. I found these books that I hadn't reviewed yet when Spools was here helping me organize the book piles that had taken over the room. And these were ones that hadn't been done yet. This is a reference guide. So it's a complete guide to needlework techniques, materials. This is a hardcover. And this was put together by Mary Gostello. I think that's a G, Gostello. Let's look inside. Same crazy font. Improper font uses Gostello, Mary Gostello. This was put out in 1984. Looks like 1984. Copyright was 1982. Reprinted in 84. Very nice table of contents. You can go to any chapter for more detailed explanations of things. But there's also a really great introduction to the history of and types of needlework that's been done throughout the ages. So there's no graphs or charts in here. This is really just tools and techniques, the difference in fibers, how to use the different fibers, separating them, pairing them with the correct needles, using the right tools, how to wrap some of your embroidery hoops. And there's my husband yawning. Serging ends. Is just a wealth of information. Different types of stitches, canvas works throughout the ages. A lot of historical referencing material. I don't know how useful this is to me, but I mean, look at the guide right here, for example. So it talks about the different size canvas meshes, and it tells you what's available in interlock, size needle that's suggested for the number of strands, cotton strands. So this was wool strands, cotton strands, silk strands. So just as a reference guide. How to paint your canvases. For those of you who like to explore some more of the historically accurate information, this would be your book. Applique and raised work. It's meaty, guys. I don't think we need to flip through the whole thing. This, I think, is a wonderful reference of history, techniques, and information for anybody who's going into, maybe you know somebody going into the fashion industry, or maybe studying art and needlework. I don't think I'll ever part with this one either, because I love how meaty this is. And another yawn. So, it's a heavy book. The Complete Needlework Techniques and Materials by Mary Costello. And this is put out by Chartwell Books. And it's probably quite expensive to get in the mail. So you'd have to get it media mail. If you do find it on a secondary market, that's what I would request. Because it is an instructional manual. They should be able to ship it media mail. All right, that's all I have for today. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have a great rest of your week. Happy stitching. Be safe.